She couldn't stand on her feet. Alone Dad succeeded where elite doctors failed. Mom broke down crying. The first time she tried to stand, the room went silent. No one told them to stop talking. No doctor raised a hand. No machine beeped louder than before. And yet, in that tiny hospital room, even the air felt like it was holding its breath. Her legs trembled. Then they folded like paper. Her father caught her before her head hit the floor. For a moment, he didn't move. He just held her, feeling how light she had become. Too light. Like life itself had started slipping out of her in quiet, invisible pieces. "It's okay, baby," he whispered, though his voice shook. "We'll try again." But deep inside, a cold voice answered him. What if there is no again? Maya had always been the fastest kid in her class. She ran everywhere. To the bus stop. To the playground. Into her mother's arms. Her laughter used to echo through their small apartment like music that refused to stop playing. Then one morning, she couldn't feel her feet. At first, they thought she was joking. "Stop being silly," her mother laughed, pulling her socks on. "You'll be late." "I'm not joking," Maya said. Her voice was small. Afraid. I can't feel them." The hospital visits began that same day. Tests. Needles. Scans. Words they couldn't pronounce. The doctors wore expensive watches and calm faces. They spoke in gentle tones, but their eyes told a harsher truth. Each appointment ended with more uncertainty. More bills. Less hope. "It's a rare neurological condition," one specialist finally said. "We'll try treatment. But you should prepare for limited recovery." Limited. The words sliced through the room. Her mother cried in the hallway. Quiet, broken sobs she tried to hide in her hands. Her father stood still, staring at a poster about healthy lungs on the wall as if the answer might be printed there in tiny letters. Limited recovery. So this was how the world ended. Not with a crash, but with a polite sentence. Months passed. Maya's wheelchair became part of the furniture. The apartment shrank around them. Every corner felt heavy with things unsaid. Her mother stopped singing while cooking. Her father stopped sleeping. At night, he sat at the kitchen table with stacks of medical papers. He watched videos. Read research articles he barely understood. He scribbled notes like a man mapping a war. Sometimes Maya woke up and rolled quietly to the doorway. She watched him under the yellow light. "Dad," she whispered one night. "Are you scared?" He looked up, startled. His eyes were red. "Yes," he said after a long pause. "But I'm more scared of giving up." She nodded like she understood. Maybe she did. Children learn the language of pain faster than adults think. The treatments didn't work. Each failure left a new crack inside the family. The doctors grew softer. Kinder. That was how they knew hope was running out. One afternoon, her mother finally broke. "This is killing us," she said, her voice sharp with exhaustion. "We are drowning in debt. She's suffering. We are suffering. Maybe we should accept it." The word accept hung in the air like smoke. Her father stood slowly. "So we just stop?" he asked. "We let her body decide her future." "I'm trying to protect what's left of us," she cried. He looked at Maya, asleep on the couch, her thin legs covered with a blanket decorated with cartoon stars. "What's left of us," he said quietly, "is her." The argument ended there. Not resolved. Just buried. But something hardened inside him that day. A decision. He sold his car. Then his tools. Then the small piece of land he'd inherited from his father. With the money, he built a crude therapy setup in their living room. Resistance bands. Parallel bars made from metal pipes. A padded mat. The doctors warned him not to expect miracles. He didn't. He expected work. Every morning at sunrise, he lifted Maya from bed. "Again," she groaned. "Again," he smiled. And again after that. The exercises were brutal. She cried. Sometimes she screamed that she hated it. Hated him. Hated her body. Each word stabbed him. But he stayed steady. "You can hate me," he whispered once, tears running down his face as he held her trembling legs. "Just don't hate yourself." Day after day, they fought a battle no one else could see. Her muscles twitched. Then strengthened. Then failed again. Progress came in grains of sand. Invisible to outsiders. Monumental to them. At night, when Maya slept, He pressed his forehead against the wall and sobbed in silence. What if I'm hurting her for nothing? But every morning, he stood back up. The breakthrough came on a rainy Tuesday. Nothing special about the day. No music. No dramatic speech. Just another attempt. Hold the bar, he said gently. Her fingers tightened. Her legs shook violently. Sweat beaded on her forehead. For a second, it looked like every other failed try. Then, she didn't fall. She stood. 1 second. 2. 3. Her eyes widened. His breath stopped. I'm standing, she whispered. The word trembled between them. He didn't cheer. He didn't move. He was afraid that even sound might break the moment. Dad, she said, laughing and crying at once. I'm standing. He caught her as she collapsed into his arms, but this time he was laughing too. A wild, broken laugh that came from years of fear finally cracking open. Her mother ran in from the kitchen. When she saw Maya upright in his arms, her knees gave out. She covered her mouth, but the sob escaped anyway. Raw, loud, unstoppable. She cried for every hospital hallway, every unpaid bill, every night spent bargaining with God. She cried because hope had come back. And it hurt. Recovery wasn't instant. There were setbacks. Days when Maya couldn't move at all. Days when her father wanted to throw the metal bars out the window and surrender to gravity. But now they had proof. A memory stronger than doubt. She stood, he would whisper to himself. She stood once. She'll stand again. And she did. Step by step. Pain by pain. Victory by tiny victory. Months later, she walked across the living room without help. The same room that had once felt like a prison now echoed with her careful, determined footsteps. Her mother watched from the couch, crying again. But this time the tears were soft. Warm. Grateful. Maya turned to her father. Why didn't you stop? She asked. He thought for a long time. Because the truth was ugly and beautiful at once. I was terrified every day, he said. But love is stubborn. It refuses to listen to fear. She hugged him, her arms strong now. I'm glad you didn't listen, she whispered. Years later, when people asked how she recovered, the doctors used complicated terms. Experimental therapy. Neuroplasticity. Rare resilience. Her father just smiled. He knew the real name of the miracle. It was waking up every morning and choosing to try again. It was crying in secret and fighting in public. It was a man who had nothing left except belief, and deciding that was enough. And in the quiet of their home, where laughter once again filled the air, the lesson remained. Sometimes the world says impossible, but the human heart answers. Watch me.